What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got a reaction to the group Spiritualized. Their album, ladies and gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Josh. Thank you, Josh. This is a group I've never even heard of, guys, so I'm kind of looking forward to diving into. Just a little background on it. Spiritualized are an English space rock band formed in 1990 in England by Jason Pierce, often known as J Spaceman, formerly of Spacemen 3. They released 8 studio albums. The best known and most critically acclaimed of these is this one, which NME named as their album of the year, beating other critically acclaimed albums such as Radiohead's OK Computer and The Verve's Urban Hymn. So that caught my attention, definitely. Some quick facts on this album. Third studio album released in June of 1997, went to 4 in the UK. The album features guest appearances from the Balinescu Quartet, the London Community Gospel Choir, and Dr. John. The album's described musically as space rock, neo-psychedelia, and gospel. The album's title is from the philosophical novel Sophie's World by Justine Garter. The context being, quote, only philosophers embark on this perilous expedition to the outermost reaches of language and existence. Some of them fall off, but others cling on desperately and yell at the people nestling deep in the snug softness, stuffing themselves with delicious food and drink. Ladies and gentlemen, they yell, we are floating in space. But none of the people down there care. The album itself was recorded shortly after the breakup of Spiritualized Jason Pierce and Kate Radley, the band's keyboard player. Radley had secretly married Richard Ashcroft of The Verve in 1995. Pierce, however, maintains that much of the album, including Broken Heart and Cool Ways, had been written before the breakup. Wow, man, that is just some crazy stuff. Original pressings had a version of the title track that incorporated the lyrics and melody of Elvis Presley's Can't Help Falling in Love. The Presley estate initially objected to this, and a remix version appeared on the commercial release with new lyrics. However, Spiritualized continued to use both sets of lyrics in live performances. By 2009, they were allowed to use the version with the Presley lyrics on the reissued edition of the album, with the provision that the song be titled, Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space, I Can't Help Falling in Love. And that is not how it is titled. I'm looking at the Spotify I'm about to listen to, so I'm not sure which version of this you're going to get. It was recorded in many studios and been mixed in many others. So this album has like this long history. You don't usually see that. NME 9 out of 10, Pitchfork Perfect 10 out of 10. It has since been acclaimed as one of the best albums of the 1990s on various publications' decade end lists. Pitchfork named it at number 55 on the list of 100 albums of the 1990s. In 2010, it was also named one of the 125 best albums of the past 25 years by Spin. And in 2020, Rolling Stone ranked it number 13 on the greatest stoner albums of all time. In 2013, NME ranked it at 153 in its list of 500 greatest albums of all time. I tell you, I'd say this album has incredible acclaim. That's one of the reasons why I was looking forward to listening to it. All tracks are written by Jason Pierce, unless I note otherwise. Look, there's really no research on this album, which is crazy because it's so well acclaimed. But there's really nothing out there. I've got a little bit of something on 2 songs. And really, that's it. We got the title track's going to start us off. Ladies and gentlemen, We're Floating in Space, written by Pierce, George David Wise, Hugo Peretti, and Luigi Creatore. The music will not be in this video, but click the Vimeo link below. You can follow along with me. I'll have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, We're Floating in Space. Obviously, that was the Elvis version, and that was sung in a different way. It's called singing in a round, right? Where you sing 2 different things simultaneously, but it actually forms this harmony. So I did enjoy that. So I thought that was really clever. And I don't know why they chose that Elvis song, but it fits just perfect in here. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I will love you till I die, and I will love you all the time. So please put your sweet hand in mine and float in space and drift in time. All the time until I die, we'll float in space, just you and I. So it really, the idea of the song is it's just you and me. It's more about the production and how the song was layered and put together, which is fantastic. But basically, if I've got you, I don't need anybody else. Well, like I said, there's just nothing on this album out there. So next up, we got Come Together. Not that Come Together. Come Together. Instrumentally, that song was fantastic. Not just the horns, the guitar work, all of it, which I'm guessing is Jason Pierce on the guitars, but I don't know, man. The instrumentation list, the musician list on this thing is unbelievably long, so I don't even want to start trying to guess who's on what, so to speak, but I think the song's about drugs. Little Johnny's sad and effed. First he jumped and then he looked. The tracks of time, those tracks of mine, Little Johnny's occupied. Come on, come together. Well, Little Johnny had an ache that hung around the poor boy's neck. Every time that Johnny ate, the little effer fed the ache. So in verse 3, little J's an effed up boy who dulled the pain but killed the joy. Little J's an effing mess, but when he's offered, just say yes. So yeah, man, just a really well done song. We're up to the third track. It's a long one. It's over 8 minutes long, but it's not the longest one on this album. But I Think I'm in Love. The notes on Genius say that it's about love and heroin as Jay Spaceman blots out the pain of his broken relationship with a spike in his arm and a spoon. So we'll find out. I Think I'm in Love. The question is I mean, Kate's in the band still. Like, is she just sitting there listening to this going, okay, this is somewhat about me? And it really just all kinds of drug references in here. The highlight of the song is just the varied instrumentation, just the layering of all that to just make this kind of simple lyricism come into this almost complex vibe. Sun so bright, I'm nearly blind. Cool, because I'm wired. I'm out of my mind. Warms the dope running down my spine, but I don't care about you when I've got nothing to do. So that's the motif. The next one, he's freer than DMT, which is said to be the most potent and powerful of the psychedelic drugs. And then the next verse, love in the middle afternoon, just me and my spike and my arm and my spoon, feel the warmth of the sun in the room, but I don't care about you and I've got nothing. I think I'm in love, probably just hungry. I think I'm your friend, probably just lonely. So it gets into this little call and response that's really nice. And they're just a great vibe, man. So I really enjoyed that one. Now up to the fourth track, All of My Thoughts. All of My Thoughts. Wow. I mean, at the end there, it sort of sounded like a woman harmonizing, but then there was a guy. I mean, was that Kate harmonizing on a song that is absolutely pretty much heartbreaking, that I'm going to guess is about her, even if Jason or Jay Spaceman says it wasn't. But I don't know what to do by myself because all of my time was with you. I just don't know what to do on my own. All of my thoughts are of you. Verse 2, don't know how to sleep on my own because all my dreams are of you. I just don't know what to do on my own. And then verse 3 is the same as verse 1. So not a lot of lyricism, but powerful lyricism. It's all about the vibe, their organ. There was just a lot of different stuff going on here. So yeah, I thought that was a really good song as well. Now we're up to song number 5, Stay With Me. Once again, a little different on the instrumentation. I mentioned that Fender Jazz bass on there. I mean, this song was a total vibe song, right? Never really built. It just kept you in almost that dreamy atmosphere. Oh, babe, I love the way you slide. Stay with me. Slide all the time. Don't go. Love the way you smile. Stay with me. Smile all the time. Don't go. Love the way you're mine. Stay with me. Hold me all the time. He just repeats those things basically through 3 verses. At the very end, he's like, you make it all so fine. But in that slow, deliberate delivery, right? You make it all so fine. I'm not going to be a Jay Spaceman. You get the idea. Now up to the 6th track, Electricity. Electricity, or as Jason put it, electricity. The guitar work is by far the star of this one, right? It's almost a shoegazing type feel, a little influence on here. But you got Jason on guitar, but you also probably got John Coxon because he's just credited on the album with additional guitars. There's a little dual action here. There's a little help going on here. But I think it's about a girl that he really likes, right? And it's a dangerous, talking about going down the one-way street, you know, the electricity, like he can't get away from her, or the urge to have her, he can't get away from. So it's a little dangerous, maybe a little destructive, but I like that song because it really is a lot different than anything we've heard so far. Now we're up to the shortest track on here, Home of the Brave. Okay, I did a little Home of the Brave, and then it was followed up by The Individual, so I made a call on the fly that they probably went together. I think they do. Now, I don't want to read too much into this, right? It's always a little dangerous because I don't see where Jay Spaceman has said anything about it, but Home of the Brave is about a girl that left this guy, right? And about his just going down into drug abuse to deal with it. I don't even feel it, but Lord, how I need it. When I'm not with her, I'm not all myself. Sometimes I have my breakfast right off of a mirror. Sometimes I have it right out of a bottle. Come on, come on. Then, of course, I'm going to rip it up, tear it out, get it out of my soul. I don't even miss you, but that's because I'm effed up. And sure, when it wears off, then I'll be hurting. So, you know, he gets high or gets drunk. And a lot of us have done that. Maybe not the high, but the drunk part, or maybe both. Or maybe you've done neither. But a lot of people, we go somewhere to escape the pain, right? So he doesn't feel it when he's in that escape, but then when it wears off, he's going to be feeling it. Then I'll be hurting, and just because the sun shines when you're out of my time, and just because I feel bad and feel good to fly high, come on, I'm going to rip it up, tear it out, get out of your soul, of my soul. Then it goes right into The Individual, which is a 4-minute instrumental, which I mentioned it during it, but I mean, obviously, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not watching the whole video, I think it's almost like a shoegaze with not only guitars, but there's horns in there. It's just this mixture. Is this him falling really off and going deep, deep, deep into drug abuse because she left him, just drug abuse and depression and getting away from it all? I don't know. That's sort of how I'd read into it. I'm always careful about trying to read too much into stuff, but that makes some sense to me. Now to the 6.5-minute track, Broken Heart. It's followed by an instrumental as well, but I will stop it after this track. Broken Heart, and the beauty of this song is just the simplicity of it, right? I think it was the most lush and beautiful song on here. You felt Jay Spaceman's pain, right? The strings were fantastic. He starts out, though I have a broken heart, I'm too busy to be heartbroken. There's a lot of things that I need to be done, or I have a broken heart. He went from a broken heart to a broken dream. Though I have a broken dream, I'm too busy to be dreaming of you. There's a lot of things I got to do, Lord. I have a broken dream. Then he says he's wasted all the time. I've got to drink you right off my mind. I've been told that this will heal given time. Lord, I have a broken heart. And I'm crying all the time. I have to keep it covered up with a smile. And for a while, I'll keep on moving on for a while. Lord, I have a broken heart. So I'll keep it covered up with a smile, right? How many of us are going through stuff and we just got to, smile it away? Because, you've got to try to live your life, man. And you don't want it to pour out. And everybody doesn't want it to pour out on them. But, wow, man, just the strength, all of it, man. That was so, so beautiful. Now we're going to go to another instrumental. I don't know if it follows into this or not, but it was a 6.5-minute song. I had a comment on the song, No God, Only Religion. No God, Only Religion. I'd like to give you some great musical breakdown of that. I'm not going to. For me, it was fine. Just a bunch of different stuff thrown in there, right? Horns, everything, swirling guitar. It was fine for me. Probably my least favorite song on here, but I'm sure it had its purpose on here. Maybe in a 12-song, 70-minute album, that one might have been cut, but hey, it was fine. Now we got 2 songs left. However, the last song is quite a song, but we're going to go to Cool Waves. Cool Waves, kind of a throwback to some other songs on here, much more chilled out. Just kind of anthemic. Cool waves wash over me, right? It just kind of vibes you in there, man. Cool water running free. So he's writing to this girl, and I wonder if he's writing to Kate, just saying, it's okay if you don't love me. I get it. Or you fall out of love with me. Just let me down easily. He says in verse 2, baby, if you lose your love, don't take me by surprise. Don't think you're crying, but there's teardrops in your eyes. If you got to leave, you got to leave. And then verse 3, babe, you got to be and let your light shine through and don't let anybody tell you what to do because, babe, you got to be. And then that cool waves wash over me. Lay your sweet hand on me. So I really did enjoy that one. I thought the instrumentation was fantastic. This is my favorite vocal style for Jason on here. We got one song left, but boy, is it a song. Cop, shoot, cop, ... This is the one that Dr. John's actually on doing backing vocals and piano. And I got to tell you guys, if you watch this channel, I'm not a big fan of long songs. I'm definitely not a fan of a 17-minute song at the end of a 12-track album. But with that, I'm going to expect that it's fantastic and it's going to change my mind. But you know me, I keep it real and I'm always honest. Cop, shoot, cop. There's 40 seconds of silence at the end if you're wondering why I stopped it there. You're going to see, I'll cut it, but you're going to see it's at the end of the song. Just 40 seconds of silence. You guys want to run it again? I joke. If you watch a live reaction, I wasn't feeling it halfway through. Halfway through I was feeling it, but from like the 9-minute mark, don't hold me to this, to like the 13-minute mark, just a bunch of guitar work that just went on and on and on. The song itself, Cop, Shoot, Cop, at first I thought, is what it sounds like, Cop, Shoot, Cop. But cop means to get something. I'm going to cop that. I'm going to get it. Shoot, imagine as heroin, cop. Cop, shoot, cop. This is vicious cycle of substance abuse. And that's kind of what the song's about. There's not a lot of lyricism in it. The outro is pretty long, but it ends with, I will love you, I will love you, I will love you, I will love you 5 times. Dr. John's piano work on here was fantastic. I thought the horn work, especially towards the end, was fantastic. I thought the rest of it was rather self-indulgent, just to be quite honest with you. You might be, if you're watching this, you're probably a Spiritualized fan and you love it. And you're like, this guy just doesn't get it. And you're probably right. I just don't get it. But a 17-minute song to end a 70-minute album is insane, man. And this song, this is the only time I ever felt like they kind of went on the self-indulgent realm. I get it. It's a vibe in there. I like the first and the end of it. I would have cut out half of the song and it would have been really good. But, I'm sure I'm in the minority there. So let's get into my favorite tracks. Ironically enough, my favorite tracks are going to fall in the first 4 tracks, but several of the tracks I like. It's almost like you can't pick real favorites. There are a couple stand out, but then, the whole album's kind of a vibe. You almost do need to listen to it all at once, although I wouldn't listen to that last song again. And then you cut it down to a manageable album. But my honorable mentions Come Together, and also I Think I'm in Love. Nice layering on that. That was that 8-minute drug song. My faves are going to be All of My Thoughts, the Forest song. That's fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, we're Floating in Space, the opener. That was great. Now we get to my overall score. I'm not going to beat this to death, guys. The album's too long. That's all right. Several albums of this time period are too long, right? That's just the way it was back in the day. So overall, I think it's a very solid album, a great vibe. I'm going to be at a 7.75 on it. So let me know your thoughts below. Let me know how wrong I was on that last track. It's all right, man. I can take it. I mean, be a little bit nice, but I get it. You can come at me. Thank you, Josh, for bringing this one. Thanks to all the patrons who make this thing go every single month. If you guys support us in any way, check out the Patreon link below or the Patreon link on the end screen. Until next time, guys, I will see you.